This is the UR Business Network.
So welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Stephanie Cameraman. And in part 1, we've talked about dark pools and kind of what they are, when they've originated, how long they've been around. And we've talked about how the institutions really had access to this information in the past. But what we're learning right now is that the average retail investor can also get access to this information. So Stephanie, why don't you tell us a little bit about how we can do this?
Sure. It's really easy, actually. You can open an account with Charles Schwab or Lightspeed. These are the only 2 companies right now that have a block trade indicator that has dark pool data feed, which is so key. I know a lot of the viewers that are listening follow volume. For me, volume is everything. So I have a scanner set up that shows me all the trades over 50,000 shares on one column. The second column is over 500,000 shares. And that is the key column to dark pool, because for some reason, these programs are programmed at a specific share size, specific lots. 501,000 shares is a key share size. I have thousands of pictures to show you. When the dark pool is selling, it's either 501,000, 502, 503. So that's why this specific scanner set up there, I'm able to see where the dark pool is trading, because these are the guys that are moving the market. You know, when they buy, the market moves up. When they sell, the market moves down.
Absolutely. There's no doubt we want to follow the big boys. They usually lead. They usually know something ahead of time.
Yep.
Is it known in the industry why everybody's trying to get over that $500,000 threshold? Is there some type of reduced commission or fee? Or?
I don't know. I just started seeing it years ago.
Okay.
And I saw the pattern. It was always 501. Now, here's where they manipulate. And this is what I've learned from a floor trader at BMO. Because I always assumed that when you do a trade, you have to show your trade that day, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I started to see these 501 trades. We call them the Levi's because they're 501. So I started to see these 501 trades that weren't done today because the price was not today's price. It was yesterday's price. Okay, and I'm going, how is this possible? The SPY didn't trade at this price. That was yesterday. The SPY is down today. And I'm like, I thought this is illegal. So I asked my friend that worked as a floor trader from BMO, and he said, yes, Steph, there's a loophole. Really? What's a loophole? Well, if Goldman Sachs does a trade from their London desk and they cross the trade with their New York desk, they have 24 hours to report this trade.
Wow.
It's a loophole. Yes. So imagine you're sitting at your desk now, you're a trader, and you see all these 501 trades on the SPY, and the price is not today's price, it's yesterday's price.
Right.
So when I see large blocks, and we're talking maybe 15 million, 20 million in one day like that, all 501s, and I see 3 days in a row across the market, the SPY, the Russell, the Qs, I call it correction. And I've been right 10 for 10.
Interesting.
Just by following this pattern.
Very interesting, very interesting.
But think about it. How would you do that? If you were Goldman Sachs, right, how are you going to sell 100 million shares without moving the market down?
They're trying to hide their intentions, absolutely. And you're so right. When the average retail trader makes a trade, you see the trade come through the print or the time in sales almost immediately.
Right away.
Yes, it's always right there. But you also see, not in the dark pools, but we see very often out of sequence traded.
Right.
We also see large trades coming in that are ended into the end of the day, which is done to the exchange. The exchange's transgressions, how they want to do it. There's a lot of loopholes in this. There truly is, and we do see this all the time, which brings up another issue which we won't touch on, is how accurate is level 2? How accurate is market depth?
Yes.
How accurate or how much information can we actually derive from the print or time in sales? And I think it should be questioned, and it can be questioned.
Correct. Well, do you use an electronic communication network book, ECN, when you trade?
I do. I can see it, yes.
Because that's like the book. You can go all the way down, and you can see where the big guys are sitting. But you know what I learned is pre-market, I look at the book, and a lot of times I see Goldman Sachs' hand. You can see GSCO all the way down, and you see what level he wants to buy it at. And when the market opens, he disappears.
Absolutely.
But so, these are things that,
Professional investors definitely know all the tricks to create
teach you.
illusions.
Yeah, of
Not
course.
only
Oh, yes.
painting the tape of the candles
Or
or
they
the actual
lie.
charts, but in the order books.
Or they have a big order and they disappear when
Yes.
it gets to them. They
Yes.
go running away, and so.
Yeah. And, sometimes we'll see if somebody really wants a big trade, they'll only show very small amounts. And then at
Correct.
other
It's
times when it's trying to
refreshing.
move the market in one direction, they'll show these big trades, which are totally fictitious, that
Right.
nobody has any intention of filling,
Right.
just to move the market down. So then we could say hypothetically they want to buy at a lower price.
Correct.
We do see this all the time.
Every day.
So your methodology, your approach makes a lot of sense with me. I have a different approach, but it really does. It makes sense where we want to look at things that just don't make sense or just are telling, where we
Right.
can see things that aren't being telegraphed. You can tell somebody's trying to hide something. Fascinating. So we're going to come back in part 3, if you'll stay with us a little bit longer. We're going to give Stephanie the entire floor, and she's going to tell us her approach. She's going to explain it and how the average retail investor can make money on it, and then hopefully we're going to get into a little bit of Stephanie's services and what she does and why she is so successful and why the people in her room are so successful doing this.
Thank you.
Sound good?
Yeah, great.
All right, we'll see you then.
3, 2, 1. This is the UR Business Network.